Welcome to this week's Whiskey Burn. It's all about the tasting I did last night. So, basically, cheers. I've been asked by quite a few people what's involved, what happens, what's it about. So, it's not just a simple case to sit there and go, that's nice, do you like that? So, I do it down at a wine shop where he does wine tastings and he sells a few bottles of whiskey. And I said to him, have you ever thought of doing a whiskey tasting night? I could host it. And he said, okay, talk to me. So the first one we said, let's do, I just realised I've got an echo. Welcome to this week's Whiskey Burn. This one's all about whiskey tasting nights. And last night I hosted an Irish whiskey tasting night. And people ask me, what's it all about? What do you do? What goes into it? So I thought, bit of behind the scenes, so to speak, I'll tell you. So the local wine shop is owned by a guy called Ray, and he does wine tasting nights. And I suggested to him last year, have you ever thought of doing whiskey tasting nights? Let's talk. Okay. He has a supplier, and I said, let's do a beginner's guide to Scottish whiskey. So we did one from each region. We did 6. I know. And that's it really. So what happens is I say to him, Scottish, one from each region. He gets in touch with his supplier and says, this is what we want. And they turn around and go, I can give you excellent. Okay, we'll do that. So then we do that. He then says to me, what do you think to these? I read the list that he's been sent, and I'm like, that one's not good. Can we try and get that one? Yes, no, yes, no. We have the discussion. I then put them in order of what I think would be a good run from start to end. He literally just says, fine, you know, it's your night, you take it away. So, have the list, bring the list back. What I do is I have 8 sort of cue cards, and I research each region. So for example, last night we did Irish. So my first cue card was welcome, here's what we're having tonight, listed of the 6 whiskies. I bring with me a little taster. Second cue card is full of facts. Facts, just lots and lots of facts about what we're talking about. So for example, this was Irish whiskey, lots of facts about Irish whiskey. And then the next 6 cue cards are each individual whiskey. Now what I do is research and find out some interesting facts about them, find out where the distillery is, find out what year it started, a bit about that particular whiskey itself, and then I write obviously tasting notes. Do that for each one, got them sorted, print them out, cut them up, put them on a card so it looks a little more professional. So on the night, pack my cards in the bag. I normally take a bottle of whiskey with me. So last night I took Tullamore Dew. Beautiful whiskey. Very creamy, very nice. Took that with me because that's like an opener. Pour that out for everyone to turn up and enjoy. And I never tell them what it is. And they always think it's the cheap, horrible stuff. So they all thought it was Jameson's. And I was like, no, best-selling Irish whiskey, but not that. It's the second best, Tullamore Dew. Bushmills is third, if you're wondering where that was. Always walk down. I always walk down because it clears the head, bit of fresh air, a little bit of exercise, and it's all downhill, so even better. Turn up, and Ray's sort of started to set the scene out, as you can see here, and I pour out the Tullamore Dew, so everyone's got it. I leave it to air for at least 30 minutes. We did one the other week with Bell's and left it 45 minutes, and it completely changed everything about that whiskey. It was crazy. So people start coming in and chatting, how are you doing? How's things? You all right? Nice holiday? All, you know, the usual stuff. Everyone's there. Ray stands up and says, thanks everyone for coming. Bloody bloody blah. Over to Jay. Woo, hi. Everyone enjoying the whiskey they've got. And I tend to try and take around 20 minutes, 30 minutes per whiskey. Some quicker. It tends to be the first one is quite quick. So the introductory one is sort of, do you like it? People have a little sip before we get going, you know. That's the point of it. And then start going through the whiskey. Start going through my cue cards, talking to everyone, asking them what they think of this, what are they getting on the nose, what are they getting on the palate. And yeah, it's really good fun. If you've not been to one, go to a whiskey tasting night if you like whiskey. They're really good fun. So that's it. At the end, I get a nice round of applause. I've drunk 8 whiskies because at the end we have we have 6 from Ireland. We have the one I bring at the start, and then we have a special one at the end, which was a Glendurach. And it was all right. You can't buy it. It was one that someone had bought the barrel, and something to do with tax reasons. He just said, take it, have it. And so we all had some of that, and it's great. It's about 2.5 hours, which I think is probably just about enough time. You don't want too much longer than that. Otherwise, you're literally just taking the tiniest of sips. And it was fantastic. Round of applause at the end. Help pack away, say goodbye. It doesn't take much to pack away, just everything goes in the dishwasher. And within 10 minutes after the last person leaving, we're walking out the door, and that's it. I'm walking home. Come back to my whiskey den, sit down, reflect on the evening, and think about the next one. So I think the next one's going to be possibly Lowlands in Campbelltown. But watch this space. I obviously will be talking about it again. But that is it. That's pretty much the whiskey taste tonight. There's no footage of me actually doing it. Someone suggested I actually filmed the whole lot. And I think that's 2 hours. You don't need 2 hours. Maybe I could have done a snippet. But I thought I'd just give people a rough idea of what it's like. So there you go. That's it. Get yourself to a whiskey taste night. They are so much fun. Well, there you go. Irish. It's beautiful whiskey. If you've not tried Irish, definitely try some. It's absolutely stunning. But that's it for this week, and I will catch you next week here on the Whiskey Burn. So enjoy your whiskey. Sláinte.